host of 7 News in Florida's capital city, covering every corner of the Big Bend. This is the award-winning News 20 at 5 Live.
The North Florida Fair will celebrate its 74th annual edition this year, November 5th through November 15th, 2015. Good evening and welcome to News 20 at 5. I'm Taylor Bishop. Each year, people from North Florida, South Georgia, and beyond attend the fair in Tallahassee, Florida. There's more than 50 rides, a petting zoo, and all of your favorite carnival foods. Although the fair is popular for its thrilling rides and delicious foods, the North Florida Fair also is home for its various attractions, such as face painting, salvation bracelets, and balloon animals. According to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Leon County crime statistics showed that every 100,000 people in Leon County, there are 758 crimes committed. Leon County Sheriff of Police DeLeon shared what the issue of these crimes may be.
Crime varies from person to person with their motivation. Some people commit crimes for a profit motive because they want money, or you have robberies, things like that. And you have other people who it's behavior based, where they may feel that someone is disrespectful to them or someone else, and they feel the need to prove themselves or right that wrong.
With hopes of curing violence in Tallahassee, Leon County Chief of Police Michael DeLeo and Edward Clark have hopes of adopting a Cure Violence founded out of Chicago. Earlier this week, senators met to discuss the child care bill. The bill enables legal immigrants living in the United States to receive health care immediately instead of waiting 5 years. Director of Children's Trust, Diana Ragbeer, explains the importance of the bill.
This bill is really important so that children receive health care timely. It makes no sense for them to have to wait 5 years for insurance coverage when they've gotten sicker, or they could have received their well child checkups and preventive care.
Even though there are a large number of immigrants in the United States, the proposed bill only focuses on legally residing immigrants. One woman was found dead and another is in serious condition after a car crash at the roundabout on Gaines Street Tuesday night. Multimedia journalist Keytron Hill has more.
Underage drinking has been brought to the forefront following the fatal car crash involving a 20-year-old FSU student, Julia Gruskin. Gruskin's parents are suing several bars on Gaines Street, believing their daughter was served alcohol despite her age. Bartender at Cantinas, Morgan Maddie, shared how often she deals with underage drinkers.
It's pretty common, a couple every night, especially on busy nights. Sometimes they'll just try to order a drink and not show us an ID, in which case we can't serve them.
Fake IDs and the act of getting a friend to buy drinks are just 2 ways for underage drinkers to obtain alcohol. Public Information Officer David Northway didn't have a comment on Gruskin's death, but shared some actions TPD are taking to decrease underage drinking.
Everybody inside the city of Tallahassee, or every bar or establishment that's going to have drinking at it as the main form of entertainment, if you will, have an off-duty officer assigned there to monitor the crowds and ensure that everyone is following the laws. We also do something called alcohol compliance, or an underage drinking detail, where we have plainclothes officers walking amongst the crowds, making sure that everybody is using alcohol is over the age of 18.
College Town on Gaines Street has become a hot spot for students in the Tallahassee area, both of age and underage. Bars such as Cantinas and Mr. buckling down on ID checks and finding ways to prevent underage drinking. With FAMU TV 20, I'm Keytron Hill.
If you are a witness to the accident, TPD requests that you contact them at 850-891-4200. A Leon County grand jury is currently reviewing an officer involved in shooting at a Lake Ella. It happened back in March when Tallahassee police responded to reports of a man with a gun sitting on a park bench. An officer made contact with him and was able to confirm that he was armed. The officer claimed that the man he killed did draw his gun before he was shot. A grand jury has to decide if a shooting by Tallahassee police officer Zachary Jones was acceptable use of deadly force. The court documents say Officer Jones fired 3 shots, hitting the man twice in the head.
Yeah, salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. 60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to News 20 at 5. I'm Taylor Bishop. A bill helping law enforcement search for missing people with special needs has one more committee stop before heading to the Senate floor. Florida Senate has been busy at work as they delegated over the legislation as the session began. Here's Travis Milton with more on the story.
The Florida Senate has been busy at work as they've delegated over legislation as session has begun. Amongst many bills, Senate Bill 203, authored by Senator Charles Dean of District 5, was favored in the Children, Families, and Elder Affairs Committee meeting. Dean's bill calls for a protocol and safety procedure on the search and rescue of missing persons with special needs. The bill will also provide for administration of the project along with required reports.
All of our first responders, all of the folks that's in safety, particularly our police officers, as well as our counselors and people that are in the program here, to be able to help and maintain and document what is the most effective way to protect these children.
Michael Daniels of the Florida Alliance for Assistive Services and Technology is in support of Senator Dean's bill and feels that it is very important to the state of Florida.
It creates a pilot program in 4 counties in which people can voluntarily enroll in, and if a person gets out of an area, then this system will actually kick on, will alert the sheriffs, and they'll be able to tell where these individuals are.
Senate Bill 203 still has to be approved within the Children, Families, and Elder Affairs Committee, but senators on the committee are sure enough in favor of the bill.
With Senate Bill 203 being put into action, the rescue and recovery for missing persons with special needs can be as simple as a press of a button.
For News 20 at 5, I'm Travis Milton.
If the bill passes, supporters would hope to have the final results of the plot program towards the end of 2017. The campaign has started and the race begins for these United States Senate candidates. The U.S. Senate election will take place in Florida this month, electing one of the members of the United States Senate to represent Florida. Attorney Pam Keith is one of the Democratic primary candidates that will be running for the position.
Gosh, it's been such an interesting whirlwind of an experience. I've been campaigning since January, and I have been to pretty much every community in Florida except for the Southwest. I haven't quite made it to Fort Myers yet, but that's next on the list. And it has been remarkable. Everywhere I go, I get the opportunity to meet new people.
After 5 years, Senator Marco Rubio decided that he does not like his job. Rubio has missed more votes than any other senator running. He has also announced that he will not be running for re-election for the 2016. Republican presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson does not look back devotedly on his few years spent as a child. He says he's soft-spoken now, but he wasn't always this way. Carson also stated that he does have a tendency to be calm, but there were times when he was violent. Despite his troubled past, Carson is also known to be a retired brain surgeon and has a book out titled Gifted Hands, which describes the life of his childhood. Ben Carson has made his mother's life story a central point of his campaign, describing how Sonia Carson guided him and his brother out of poverty. Dr. Carson has backed up some of his affirmations, avoided other questions, and essentially pushed back against the press, saying reporters are being unfair by doubting him and should give others the same kind of scrutiny. Stay tuned because we have more news coming your way after the break. You're watching News 20 at 5.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
The 9/11 Memorial will honor my partner and the officers who responded that morning.
It's for my brother.
and my 343 brothers who didn't make it.
It's about hope for the future.
So we always remember September 11th. For my husband who never came home.
And the first responders who saved my life.
This shows the world that we can rebuild.
That we are united.
And that we are strong.
Because the best of humanity can overcome the worst hate.
It's for all the heroes like my dad.
Welcome back to News 20 at 5. I'm Taylor Bishop with your sports. FAMU kept things competitive for 3 quarters, but 2 unanswered touchdowns from Tennessee State in the 4th quarter gave no hope for the Rattlers at home. The visiting Tennessee State Tigers staged a 23-point scoring surge in the second half to beat the FAMU Rattlers football team for a 30-14 victory in Bragg Memorial Stadium. Here's Travis Milton with further details on the game.
The Florida A&M University Rattlers football team saw their first home game action of the season facing the Tigers of Tennessee State. Coming into the game, the Rattlers were still winless on the season as they hoped to change that against the 2-1 Tigers. The Rattlers played well on both sides of the ball as they were able to get out into an early lead, putting the first points on the scoreboard. Soon after, things didn't really improve for the 0-3 Rattlers as they only found the end zone one more time on the night. First-year starting quarterback Carson Royal says that he has learned what he needs to do in order to improve his game on the offense.
I've learned that I can get a little up and down on myself, and I just have to make sure that I stay calm and I'm able to lead this offense in the right direction no matter what happens on the field.
Also speaking on the offense, head coach Alex Wood says that their offensive attack has to become more balanced and efficient.
Well, we're running the ball with not necessarily efficiency, but we got some bright spots. I'll put it that way. We got some bright spots in running the football. We just need to generate a more balanced, attack, with efficiency. With efficiency, not necessarily, what we're doing, but just with efficiency.
The Rattlers fell to the Tigers 30-14 and will be on the road again as they will face another Tiger team in Savannah State, still in search for their first win on the 2015 season. For News 20 at 5, I'm Travis Milton.
And the Rattlers will hit the road for their last game of the season for the Florida Classic in Orlando to take on the 8-2 Bethune-Cookman Wildcats Saturday, November 21st at 2:30 p.m. in the Orlando Citrus Bowl. Florida A&M University ladies volleyball team are still searching for their first victory of the season. Saturday, the Lady Rattlers took on the Lady Aggies as they went 0-3 in an intense match. Head coach Tonio Trifino said that his team made a lot of errors that cost them to lose their game.
I think we made a lot of errors. I think that the talent level and the skill level is pretty much there with Texas A&M. We just made way too many errors.
The Rattlers faced many teams in the top 25, so they feel that their level of play is there, but it just has to be executed properly. After the break, find out why the state of Florida could be getting rid of the Florida assessment test. Stay tuned. You're watching News 20 at 5.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I
I
am
an American.
I am an American.
I am American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I'm an American. I am American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
Welcome back to News 20 at 5. I'm Taylor Bishop. The state of Florida is now ready to part its ways with the Florida assessment test that's been a part of the schools program for more than a decade. The state of Florida has approved a $220 million 6-year contract for the American Institutes for Research and Development and administer the new statewide exams. Florida Department of Education Communication Director Joe Folick says the new test will be a huge step towards calculating students' academics.
Students will be better prepared for the future. They will be graded on these tests on their ability to critically think and analyze and to explain how they arrived at answers rather than just rote memorization.
The new test will be based upon the Common Core standards. However, the FCAT science portion will still be given out to students. And that's going to do it for us tonight here at the station. Thank you for watching News 20 at 5. Have a great evening.